14 has not been fulfilled. And giving all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem Kakwadash. This is a video that was put up on August 7th, actually yesterday, entitled, this is on Vocab Malone's page, entitled An Eyewitness Account of Hebrew Israelite History, Vital, Live. And I don't think this is the second part of interview with AHDIAHLA. So maybe what he did was cut out some of the main.
So this is the second part of the video I did with Vocab Malone. The first one was on violence, with really concerning the Sakaris, which came out of GMS, Al-Azhar and them, because they wanted brothers to open carrying camps. But a lot of the problems that exist in a lot of these splinter camps that came out of GMS start with these men, Tahar, Gabar, and the rest of the guys that used to be part of these so-called apostles, all right, false apostles, Revelations 2 verse 2. So over the many years, 2009, and Tahar, you a liar, because for although anybody that knows Neo Saints of Thunder, which is technically the new branch of Sons of Thunder, anybody that knew us, because we had to go back to our original name, which was original Sons of Thunder. Anybody that knew me and House, they knew that for years we was campaigning against GMS and all these groups because they were putting a bad look on all of Israel. One, because they teach false doctrine. The main false doctrine was they running around teaching brothers and sisters how to be beastly Pharisees, all right? Beastly type Pharisees. And even though they teach a lot of historical, root, fundamental stuff that's in the New Covenant, they prophesied that, made a false prophecy that we will leave America in 1998. That was false. They also prophesied that we would leave America in the year 2000. That was false. Gabar is still teaching that MARSHAR is King David, which broke up the first school. That was false. Then they continued to break up other schools. The second school, the House of David, that was on 126 in the Matthias place. So all these brothers, they did a lot of damage over the years, and they put out, they were first on YouTube, but they were the first group that did not have the gospel coming into YouTube. They really started pushing more gospel because they knew that brothers that were in the New Testament that left One West, a whole bunch of brothers out of Sons of Thunder and Mount Zion camp, were really spreading the word outside of all these cult groups that they set up. So they set up a cult group according to their own man-made mind. So when it said witness, when he was saying that the witness, I was witnessing what I seen as a teenager, really, well, not a teenager during that time, but I was like in my 20s.
Live that he did, but he focused on, I'm at the 10-minute 24-second mark of a 2-hour 18-minute 58-second video. And like I said, I'm at the 10-minute 24-second mark. And Vocab Malone goes into the book of Ezra, in the Bible, not the Apocrypha. And he reads from the second chapter, 64th verse. And he's trying to say that this is a fulfillment of Isaiah chapter 14. So I'm going to let you listen, and I'm going to go into the scriptures. So listen up.
It's amongst the darkness, A lot of times people, no matter what nation they are, no matter what people, you find people that's in darkness everywhere. You find evil people everywhere. And I found this out.
So when I was saying you find evil people everywhere, I also was referring to a lot of the brothers that is amongst camps, because this is an evil man. A long time ago, I did videos called Escape GMS, and you have a lot of good brothers that come into GMS, and over the years they have been used. You have brothers going to mental wards because of GMS. They had to go into mental wards because they be arguing and fighting with their whole family, acting crazy, all right? Because the way he teaches, he puts internal spin on it, and he's delusional, because even now in his old age, like, we in this health crisis right now. We in this health crisis in America. They want to put all this stuff into our bodies. We're in a major health crisis, and you got this man, Tahar. He's still trying to get people to be part of his organization, and he acting like everything is all right with the doctrine that we was taught in One West. All right? And everything wasn't right with the doctrine that was taught in One West, because you had them elevating the law over the faith and not doing the law. So they was becoming like double transgressors on that. Let me deal with more of what he said. And he's caught. A lot of brothers was sincere in One West, and they was doing their jobs, but you always had men like this behind the scenes, really spreading enmity between men. All right? Because when the Judite administration was uptown in One West, he be spreading hatred in Marshar's ear. All right? Going behind their backs and talking against them, when brothers was just simply trying to build the organization. Why? Because these men are for sale. And Tahar, you not doing the work. You not out there like you trying to perpetrate a fraud. Talk about men putting their hands on the plow. You behind the computer, you and Gabar now. Because y'all old and decrepit and wicked now. All right? And you always been wicked. All right? You trying to make it like, oh, yeah, we out, we putting our hands to the plow. Well, that plow was broken because you can't mix false doctrine into the gospel and convert men. And one of the best men that came out of GMS was Avenger for Yahushua, because he converted over to the gospel, and he seen that Tahar and them just like to use men against other men for evil. All right, that's what happened during that period. That's why he's coming
A
out.
lot of this stuff out after I came out of One West. Also, you can't just pinpoint and say, yo, this.
So he said he found out a lot of things after he left One West, meaning he turned his back on the plow. So he's just on his own. AHDIAHLA's not out there on the highways and the byways. He's just some lost.
So that's a lie right there, because Tahar was with us the night of the split, when they had the split with MARSHAR and them. And he was one of the ones pushing that MARSHAR was King David, which is a false doctrine. That's only king is Christ. Christ is king. Ain't no man king, all right? Y'all exalted a man as king, and what happened? All the rest of the leadership wanted to exalt their man, themselves as kings too, with the 12 kings false doctrine. And he stayed away from the school. What y'all don't know, he talking about brothers fell out, but in that last year, Tahar and Gabar was staying away from the school, and they was only going to the camp. In other words, they didn't really want to be affiliated with the school. I remember because me and Gabar.Allah used to hang out with Killer Priest and another brother named Zabalawan, because we used to go at night and teach together out in the out through Manhattan from Midtown to the Village. And we'll be trying to go and convert brothers and sisters over, especially brothers and sisters that was in the gay community. We would go out there and try to make them, convert them over to the truth, where they wouldn't be gay anymore. All right? And those were things that we was doing together. And Tahar and them didn't know about that. Tahar and them didn't know we was going on our own and teaching at night. And when they found out, other brothers from Tahar's original camp, which they called it Spirits of Truth, those brothers started to go and follow our suit. Yim Rakah and other brothers, they started to go out into Manhattan at night after school to teach the brothers and sisters. One reason why, because when you were in camp, even if you see how that brother is standing there, when you was in camp, the general speaker, the chief speaker in the camp will always hog the mic. So even if you knew how to teach, you couldn't really teach what you learned out on the street, because you always had these elder guys hogging the mic and getting into self-glorification. And even when you would go up to teach, they'll be jumping in and out, messing up your thing. And he's talking about the school, even before the split, the gospel came out, and the original Sons of Thunder and a lot of brothers from Mount Zion and other camps left, because they found out the school wasn't following the gospel of Christ. Now, the gospel that these men are teaching is a broken plow. You talking about teaching on a broken plow. The reason why it's broke because y'all helped to break it, because y'all didn't go into the new covenant until